particular webinar is on debt. So I would say, given the pandemic, you have to stay safe both personally as well as financially. Keep your family safe. Protect your money. At this point of time, forget chasing returns. Okay, the equity market looks lucrative. Currently, our scope is about debt. We'll talk about debt. So here, you have to forget chasing returns, and you are richer than most people if you just manage to keep your capital protected. So you must take steps and strategy you must put in place that will keep your capital protected. This is the agenda for today. So we will talk about some symptoms that the debt market is showing today. Okay, and that we get into the disease. The disease is directly shown by the symptoms that we are seeing and reading in the newspapers on a daily basis. Okay, we will discuss how investors are at the receiving ends and some risks that are faced by debt funds and directly us as investors, and what we should be doing about it. Okay, and then we will also discuss the RBI support to mutual funds and what directly it means for you. Okay, very important that we limit this discussion to what it means to each one of us who has some investment or the other in debt mutual fund. And then finally, where to invest given the scenario that we are in. The symptoms first. Last week, late last week, there was a news in the newspapers and in financial markets that Franklin Templeton has closed down 6 schemes. They were primarily debt schemes. Okay, their ultra short bond fund, short term fund, credit risk fund, dynamic accrual, etc., low duration and income opportunities fund, and a total AUM of 25,000 crores, 26,000 crores, and they also had taken debt of about 2,500 crores. So roughly about 30,000 crores is locked in these 6 schemes. Now, to put things in context, the total debt mutual fund size in the Indian market is about roughly about double of that. So Franklin Templeton was actually a very big player. Okay, and these were the funds that were doing very well in the Franklin Templeton scheme of things. They used to sell it aggressively, and lot of investors are actually invested in these funds. Then yesterday there came a news that they have also paused subscription in 6 more funds. Okay, so a total of 12 funds is impacted. Although I was reading that the limitations are very less in the 6 funds that they paused yesterday. They are just not open for subscription as of now. So the first 6 funds were actually closed down, and the next 6 are actually closed for subscription. So what is the disease? The disease is that there is huge illiquidity in the system. Okay, if you are investing in equity market, if you are more accustomed to equities market, uh, you will not experience this. You would have seen decline in prices in equities market, but there is no lack of liquidity in listed equities. However, the bond market, okay, especially the low rated papers, commercial papers, certificate of deposit, etc., are seeing tremendous illiquidity in the system. Okay, and it has been discovered that a lot of mutual funds, including Franklin Templeton, had invested in substandard instruments. Now, substandard instruments give better returns. That is why they are chased. It is okay to have them in your portfolio during good times, but when the times turn bad, then there are no takers for such papers, and also their interest payment capacity comes under question mark. So uh, because of illiquidity and because of this suspicion on their interest payment capacity, the bond prices have eroded and bond funds are giving negative returns. On the right of my slide, you will see that there are some funds where 1 year returns are have declined by 70 plus percent, okay, 40%, 43%, 29%, 28%. When I read this in the newspaper, I was surprised and I was quite shocked, and I thought that these numbers are not correct. So I matched them with our data in FinBingo. and the data is actually correct. You can see that BOI AXA Credit Risk Fund, for example, has come down by about 22 72%. Okay, and the next one, Baroda Treasury Advantage Fund, has come down by about 42%. So these are huge declines. If you have kept your money in these funds, then the value of it has become half. Investors are currently at the receiving end. What the fund managers are telling us, Franklin Templeton issued this statement, which the newspaper reported. I have put it verbatim. Uh, they are saying that it is necessary. These steps are necessary because they believe it is necessary to protect the value of our investors. Okay, and they said that significantly reduced liquidity in the Indian bond market for most debt securities and unprecedented levels of redemptions following the COVID-19 outbreak and the lockdown has compelled us to take this decision. So they are clearly pointing this situation. They have closed down this fund simply because they are saying there is no liquidity. Okay. But it is also very important to understand what they are not telling us because of conflict of interest. And from the point of investors, it is very important to understand this, the things that they are not telling us. Okay. And these things are they are not telling us. For example, for better returns, we invested your money in unrated securities. That has tendency to become hugely illiquid during such times of market stress. Okay, so they chase in normal course of business unrated securities where the risk is much higher, but the returns are higher. And for these higher returns, they chase such papers. And during such times of stress, there are no takers, and so there is no liquidity. So even though they are staring at price declines, they are not finding counterparties to sell these funds and to generate money to meet redemptions. Okay, we are expected to, but we never did stress test. Fund managers are expected to do stress testing of their portfolio, and it's clear that such kind of pandemic they have not done any stress test. Okay, to see what will happen to the liquidity or to bond prices. We tried to sell these securities to meet redemption pressures, but there were no buyers at the prices we thought was right, and we were not willing to take a haircut on prices because it would have impacted the NAV and showed us in poor light. Okay, obviously these things nobody has said. Okay, I've said no, Mr. Nobody, fund manager at No One EMC. Nobody tells you this, but this is the situation. So they have not been able to uh, find counterparties to sell these bonds off and they are staring at 30, 40, 50% price declines on these bonds. And they thought that it is better to just close the fund rather than keep on meeting redemption requests by selling these bonds and taking a 40, 50% hit. Every day a new cat is coming out of the bag. Okay, and you can see here a newspaper cutting where it's of yesterday, where 328 companies, all top rated companies, have wanted to defer their loan repayments. Okay, it's very dangerous that top companies also want to defer their loan repayments simply because they are not sure of their own cash flows, how it is going to pan out in this epidemic. And this news item came today, which says Birla Mutual Fund realigns Jharkhand bond values. Okay, so they are carrying bonds where the valuation itself has become a question mark, and every day they are coming up with new values. What started off as robust economy is going to obviously be painful with 1.8% or 2% GDP growth rate. You have to realize that you made these investments when the going was good, when the GDP was growing at 5%, 6%, and the companies did not have any problem in meeting their cash flow projections and also their loan interest payments. But now we are in a completely different world. Okay, equity market has already shown by coming down by about 30%. It is the bonds which are problematic simply because bonds have a lag effect. Okay, going forward, most surprises that you will read in the newspaper is going to be negative uh, for the investor. Sorry, I'm sounding a bit pessimistic, but it is our money that is involved. Hence, I wanted to be realistic here. There are two risks that we talk of when we talk of debt mutual funds: the interest rate risk and the credit risk. Interest rate risk arises because the interest rate itself changes. For example, there has been a reduction of interest rate by Reserve Bank of India. So when interest rates are reduced, then the bonds that are paying higher rates, their prices tend to rise. Okay, and but we are not more worried about interest rate risk at this point of time. It is the credit risk which is more worrying. Credit risk is simply the risk that your principal is not going to come back, or it will come back with significant haircuts. I have tried to put a chart on interest rate risk. These are on y-axis you have interest rate risk, and on x-axis you have type of funds. So, a typical overnight liquid fund, ultra short duration fund, money market, etc., have low interest rate risk, and long duration fund, GSEC fund, gilt fund, etc., have uh, higher interest rate risk. Similarly, talking of credit risk, uh, this is left to right. On the right are funds which have highest credit risk. Okay, so short duration funds, credit funds, ultra short duration funds, low duration fund, etc., are at high credit risk. Okay, and actually, if your investment is anything beyond liquid right now, you should be looking at your fund very closely, and you should be thinking of redeeming it. What should investors do at this point of time? Okay, so my take is you should stop guessing and start looking at red flags. Okay, what are these red flags? So, for example, I have listed out some uh, which are very obvious. Okay, so for example, your fund has a high composition of unrated securities. Please make sure that majority of your fund comprises of AAA rated securities. Pay very close attention to the companies that are not rated. Okay, and see whose group they belong to. Okay, and what is their potential of default, what business they are in, etc. I know it is very difficult for lay investors like us to do all these analysis. I give you a solution later as well. uh, you don't know names of many borrowers. That is also a red flag. Okay, some borrowers are known but their business groups have recently been in trouble. So for example, Z Group, Reliance, Anil Ambani Group, okay, DFHL, etc., we know the companies that were in trouble recently, and Reliance Communication. So be sure that these bonds are not there in your portfolio, and take rating also with a pinch of salt, because there is going to be lag between between rating agencies also coming back and change in ratings. At this point of time, schemes with higher exposure to NBFCs are at risk. So go through the list one level more in detail to see which industry these companies belong to. Okay, and sharp decline in funds AUM also signals caution. So where are you going to get this data? You can come to finbingo.com and check for data. You can also go to other leading sites like ICICI Direct and Money Control. These data are freely available. Okay, these are elementary checks that anybody can do. I was going through the Franklin Templeton case, and you can see clearly that they have given loans to 26 issuers, not less, 26 issuers, where for those companies, 100% of their loans were taken from Franklin Templeton itself. Okay, so it's like obliging companies by being their only lender. Once you encounter such case, it becomes very important to see through a magnifying glass who these borrowers are and why these fund managers have been so obliging for these companies. Some time back, few years back, there was a lot of discussion around kickback, etc. Industry is relatively cleaner from that perspective. SEBI has cracked down a lot, but there are still these things. Okay, for example, you see here the number of companies are very high, where Franklin Templeton itself is the only lender or the majority lender. Okay, these are clear red flags which people should have, or investors should have, or rating agencies should have seen earlier. Then look for unknown names. Okay, this is again from the fund that was closed down. So you see a lot of companies where the names are not known, And you also see names of companies. Uh, for example, here Edelweiss Agri Value Chain, coupon rate of 8.7%. Now, according to me, 8.7% is very less, and there is no risk premium or very less risk premium applied to this. So, if you just scan through the list, you will come through all these things by your own. The composition and level of cash. Uh, a lot of big fund houses today are in a problem because their level of cash is very less. So they have gone ahead and invested 90-95% of their investments already, and those investments have turned illiquid. So the proportion of cash is very less, and they are not able to meet redemption pressures very easily. SEBI allows these mutual funds to borrow up to 20% of their last 6 months average AUM. So there is a channel available where they can take loans and redeem your money, but of course it is not good. And these are also red flags. I have been speaking to few of my friends who are investors and who have been arguing that these investments are anyway in AAA rated companies. But again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. These funds are going to tell you that they are all AAA rated, but don't believe so much. All the AAA ratings were given in the pre-pandemic business models where cash flows were relatively secured, the economy was doing good. But nobody knows how this pandemic is going to play out. The event is unprecedented. Okay, the impact can be measured, but the lowest point is still not known. So you don't know where you will stand 6 months down the line, and whether these the credit risks that these funds have taken are going to be redeemed, okay, and will be made good. Okay, everyone is working under severe constraints, and so are credit rating agencies. IL&FS moved from AAA to default in 1 day's time. Nobody was given a chance to even redeem their papers. Okay, it all happened overnight. So again, it is sounding very pessimistic, but it is our money. Okay, and don't try to be a forecaster or a scientist at the expense of your own money, is what my message is. Now, on valuations, the rules here are being changed frequently. Okay, there are very sound rules in place. A lot of fund houses have actually taken third-party services, for example, those of HDFC Bank, etc., for doing their portfolio valuation. Wherever a third-party agency is involved, there is still hope that the valuation is going to come fine and the NAVs that you are seeing are real. Okay, but for funds that are doing their own accounting and fund valuation, you should take it with a pinch of salt simply because there is a lag effect. Okay, the illiquidity is going to creep in, the change business model is going to creep in and going to impact the maybe the ratings will come down, and because of which the valuation is going to come down, and you have to be prepared early. So, what should we do as investors? You have to act right now. Take things in your own hands. Your distributors are not going to tell you. These funds are not going to tell you. You need to screen the composition of your mutual fund very closely. Okay, go through the portfolio very closely. See any red flags, as we discussed in the previous slides. Okay, if you see any red flags, just go through the proportion of it and just get out of it if you're not comfortable. Okay, park your money in good government securities funds. The government securities funds are also volatile, but at least a guarantee is there that if held till maturity, all your money in the form of principal and interest is going to come back, uh, even though there is going to be volatility in between. If you are okay with volatility, you can invest in government securities, or you can simply, at this point of time, put your money in fixed deposits. Okay, there is no point in taking this kind of risk on NAV and risk on valuations on the bond funds, especially when the market is so illiquid. Okay. You can come to finbingo.com. Okay, a lot of you who are in this webinar are my friends, not a FinBingo client yet. I don't want to sell FinBingo. Okay, we don't charge any commission as well, but we are happy to help out anybody who wants help at this point of time. Okay, we believe in over communication. Okay, and a lot of transparency. Who should be worried at this point of time? You should certainly be worried if more than 10-15% of your net worth, excluding property, is in debt funds. So if significant amount of your money is parked in debt fund, any kind of debt fund, you should be worried. Okay, especially if they are long duration funds. Duration is a finance concept. When you invest in any bond, it gives you principal and then periodic interest. Duration is the minimum time in which all your principal comes back. Okay, so all funds have duration. They publish duration on their website. So especially if you have invested in funds that have long duration, just come out of it. If there are any red flags in your portfolio, the red flags we have already spoken of. If you are not with any top three AMCs, or these AMCs have a relative cash balance. I was speaking to one of my fund manager friends today, and he told me that two of the top AMCs today are experiencing a lot of difficulty in cash balance. So they are able to meet small redemptions, but they are finding it difficult to meet redemptions which are in excess of 10 crores. If the fund has low AUM, okay, and then I have to tell you that there are no fixed rules to find out these red flags. But don't try to reason out too much at this point of time at the expense of your own money. Okay. Uh, a word of caution, a very senior guy that I was speaking to today morning actually did not know that the value in bond funds can also come down. He asked me, how can NAVs come down when there is except redemption? I had to explain to him that these bonds, if they bear significant amount of credit risk, and if interest and principal doesn't come back, then the fund has to take a hit, and it immediately eats into your NAV. So a lot of investors think that these bond funds are a proxy to fixed deposits, where their principal is not going to change. That is not true at all. That is how it has. It may have been sold to you, but that is not true at all. Uh, please review your portfolio. Okay, come to FinBingo. We are also opening up an email ID where you can send us details and receive absolutely free of cost analysis on your portfolio. There is no compulsion of coming back and investing through us. At this point of time, as I said, any fund that you redeem here, you can safely put it in a SBI fixed deposit or your bank's fixed deposit. What about equity funds? Although we are going to discuss equity funds in our webinar on Thursday, but equity funds don't have this problem of illiquidity. Okay, simply because equity funds don't have a price discovery problem, because they are traded on a daily basis, and all listed equities are traded on stock exchange, and unless the stock exchanges close, which they obviously won't, there will not be there may be value erosion, but there will not be any liquidity problems. Okay, but do watch out on equity funds on or hybrid funds that also have debt components. My message in this webinar to you is, watch out for your debt components very closely. On the right, I have shown two pictures. Okay, one is the top one is with equity funds, and the second one is in the bottom is with debt funds. Uh, in the with equity funds, you know where you stand. The NAV is very realistic, simply because the price quotes of equity that the fund has invested in comes on a daily basis, so you know where you stand. With debt funds, the problem is that you don't know where you stand. Okay, the fund house tells you something, but there is very high chance that maybe you are standing somewhere else. Okay, somewhere down on the ladder. So do not take risk with your debt funds. Now, all of you would have uh, read about or come to know about RBI's support for mutual funds. Okay, it announced a 50,000 crore fund for liquidity support. Uh, you would think that this is going to improve things, but it is not going to, simply because of the structure and manner in which this support is lent. Okay, the stimulus that we are seeing in India is very different from US and UK. In the US, the Federal Reserve has actually created a fund that is buying out such illiquid papers. So any mutual fund or any bank that holds papers that are low in seniority or illiquid, or they are not finding any takers, they can simply go to this Fed created fund and they can sell it off, and they can, without haircut or with reasonable haircut, they can find liquidity. But in here in India, RBI has announced support of 50,000 crores, but it is going to lend to banks, and it is not clear who's going to bear the risk. So I'll tell you who's going to bear the risk. It is ultimately you who will bear the risk through these funds. These funds will try to sell these illiquid papers to banks, but banks are not going to buy. It's not that banks are lacking liquidity. They have very high degree of liquidity. They are in fact going back and parking their liquid money with RBI. So the problem is not really of liquidity. It is very good that RBI has announced this support. It is comforting, but it is not going to solve the problem in completely, simply because neither RBI is buying these instruments nor these banks who can borrow from RBI to support mutual funds are going to buy these instruments. So these instruments are still going to remain in the books of mutual funds, and they will belong to you. So ultimately, you are going to bear the brunt of it. So the question is where to invest. If you are coming out or any subsequent money that you want to park, okay, my advice is get out of these risky debt funds and invest in dedicated government securities fund or SBI fixed deposit or post office uh, deposits. If you see, there is a common theme amongst all these things, that is that of sovereign guarantee. Okay, none of these are going to default. So SBI, if SBI is in trouble, whole of India will be in trouble. So government is going to obviously support it. Okay, post offices are not open right now for business, and neither is SBI. But you can obviously redeem your funds and keep it in your account at this point of time. As I said earlier, this time is to remain safe and not to punch this money chasing higher rate of interest. Okay. Those who are wanting to invest in equity, equity is a good time to invest simply because there is already a 30-40% erosion in values. So good companies are available cheap. But that discussion we reserve for the webinar on Thursday. Okay. Now I also realize that there is too much of ask in this that I have asked you to do. For example, go through the composition, industry, the lending behavior, etc. And I realize that you may not be expert in this. You may lack data, etc. There is a email ID that I'm publishing here, care@finbingo.com. You can send us your portfolio, your name, and WhatsApp number, and our team will get in touch with you. We will limit our help at this point of time to advising you. Obviously, you are free to come and open an account with FinBingo as well and do investments from here. We promise that we will be very transparent and communicative with you. But it's not a prerequisite, and it's not an obligation. So on a no obligation basis, you can send your portfolio if you think you need our help. Thank you very much. I think 30 minutes are over. I'm open to your questions. Yes, Santosh. 1 minute, Santosh. I'll unmute you. I think I'm having a problem in authorizing the mic permission. Santosh, Santosh, I have authorized you.
Yeah, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, now.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Amir. Samir, thanks. It was quite informative, and many of the aspects I am actually going through it for the first time because very recently, probably, I also informed you that I was hit with the Franklin Templeton's decision. I have investments in ultra short bond fund, and it's
Who's the
something which
chair
I
of experience? Both Templeton and the other top fund house.
Yeah, Aditya Birla also, right. But in Franklin Templeton, obviously, it was a shocker. Then only I realized when I got news from the stock group which I'm a part of, and you have put me in that group, and I realized this was a big issue because before this I never had any opportunity to learn debt fund in so detail. 2 years back, a retired general manager of SBI General Insurance, who's a certified financial planner. Actually, I was in touch with him. He actually stays in my society, and he was giving some free advice. So based on those free advice, I thought that his view of Franklin Templeton was quite okay. Now, with this debacle, I have learned the lesson, and as you rightly said, going through minutely understanding the portfolio. I may not, I may want to exit Franklin, which is not possible, but there are other debt funds which I am also. So how about liquid fund at this stage? I don't know really good, bad, ugly, but yes, since your chart covered about the credit risk also, just explain a little more on liquid funds.
If you saw the chart, the credit risk is least on liquid fund side. So liquid fund is relatively safer. Okay. Having said that, there is very marginal difference between the interest rate right now between liquid funds and fixed deposits. Okay, 1 or 2 percentage. Anyways, the rate of interest has come down significantly across the board. So my recommendation to you is if you can understand the portfolio well and good, otherwise you just redeem it and put it in some fixed deposit.
Okay, quickly, I have one more question about these GSEC bonds. Is there a way I can learn more about it through FinBingo? Is there already something published on FinBingo, or what is the best source?
Okay, on FinBingo, unfortunately, we don't have any article on GSECs, but you will find a lot on Google, etc. Okay, there are a lot of almost all funds have GSEC funds as offering. They invest directly in government bonds. However, there is one or two caution that if you want to invest in GSEC bonds, see with GSEC bonds, the redemption of money is guaranteed. Okay, simply because India as a country is not going to default. The country has rights to print notes. Okay, and in eventuality that it lacks money, it is going to print money. So your money is going to come back. However, uh, the country rating at this point of time is triple B. Okay, and with this kind of pandemic and government spending, the rating may go down as the fiscal deficit goes up. One very good thing is that oil prices is in our favor. Okay, so fiscal deficit can be checked by less oil prices as well. However, if the rating goes down, the next rating is that of junk. Okay, which means the bond prices is going to come down. So if you should only invest in bond funds, GSEC funds, if you are okay with volatility. So the message that I'm trying to tell you is government GSEC funds are also going to be volatile, and the fund managers also have discretion to trade on those bonds. Okay, not every fund holds till maturity. So
Okay.
you can buy that, but you should be okay with volatility. If you're okay with volatility, you can keep it. The money is guaranteed, return of money. Okay,
Okay,
but
and
if you're not okay with volatility, simply put it in a fixed deposit.
Samir, you was it? I mean, I understand it is more focused on debt funds, but how about electronic gold? And similar kind of instruments at this stage.
Okay, so gold, we already did a webinar. Last webinar was on gold. Uh,
Okay.
as I understand from market sources, the outlook of gold is positive. Okay, simply because in times of pandemic, people stop trusting their governments and government papers, etc., and government currency, and they shift to gold. So,
हाँ ये
uh,
लाइट ऑन करके वो वाली ऑफ कर दे
so gold may do well. You can take a look at that.
Thanks. Thanks,
I'm
Samir.
putting you on mute, Santosh.
Okay.
Okay, I have few others. I have Sandesh. Hi, Sandesh. Hello, Sandesh. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
able to hear me? Hello, Samir.
Yes, Sandesh, I can hear you.
Excellent. Samir, I hold Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund in my portfolio, which is a blue chip fund and the India Prima fund.
Okay.
I wanted to, and both of them, I believe, are equity focused fund.
Okay.
Is there a reason to be concerned, primarily because a lot of news is around Franklin Templeton, which you discussed today in your presentation as well. So I wanted to take your view on these two funds, apart from Nippon India Prime Debt, which I also hold in my portfolio.
Okay, Sandesh, you will appreciate that just by names of the funds, I will not be able to advise you. Even I need to see the composition of the funds. Okay,
Sure.
I'll be happy if you share these names again with me on email or WhatsApp. I will go through it and come back to you. Prima facie equity funds should not be a problem simply because equity funds has already experienced problems, whatever it can. Okay, the NAVs you would have experienced that it has already down simply because the equity market is down. It is only if these equity funds also hold significant amount of debt component which are illiquid, there will be a problem. Okay, so I will do that analysis for you and send it back to you.
Excellent. In fact, today morning I had the opportunity to send my cash statement to FinBingo, and they've been very prompt in terms of uploading my portfolio. So I can see more than 50% of my portfolio on FinBingo as far as mutual fund is concerned. And I'll happy to share or exchange a few tips around them. Thanks for answering my questions, Samir. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Sandesh. A review, positive review on Google also will help.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sandesh. I'm putting you back on mute. Anuj? Hello, Anuj? Anuj, I
Can you
have
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Thanks, Amit. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time and the information. Really helpful. I just wanted to ask, you said that, okay, try to identify the red alerts in your portfolio or the schemes that we are invested in. How do we figure out like where the mutual funds in which we are invested, where they have invested or to whom they have lent the money? So is it all available usually online?
Okay, first thing I must tell you that this entire thing is very much stacked against the investor. Okay, there is very less detail that is available out there.
Right.
You can see the detailed investment in mutual fund declarations. Okay, they are published in the form of fact sheets, etc., which we can send you from FinBingo, and also you can go to Money Control or ICICI Direct or any popular value research website, and you can see it there.
Okay.
It is only going to tell you till about a point. Okay, apart from that, if you want to see who are the people behind those companies, etc., you have to go through MCA's website and register of companies website, etc. So it's not easy, but it is not warranted unless the composition of loans to the companies are very high. Okay, so you need
Right.
to put some amount of intelligence there. We'll be happy to do this analysis for you, as I mentioned, if you share your portfolio with us.
Sure, you will see an email from me in the next 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just drafting that email.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Uh, I'm allowing Mr. Shashi Gupta. It's a bit slow from this side. Shashi ji,
Hello.
Shashi ji,
Hello.
can you hear?
Suresh ji. It's a very nice webinar. Hello.
Haan, Shashi ji, I can hear you.
It's a very nice webinar, Samir ji.
Thank you.
And just the same question was there, which has been raised by the Sandesh ji. We have some mutual fund investment on the blue chip Franklin Templeton blue chip fund,
Okay.
as well as the SGFC top 200,
Okay.
and some of the Prima fund is also there in the Templeton.
Okay.
So, is there any risk onto it right now, or it's safe to be there?
See, the first two funds that you talked of were equity funds. Equity funds, the value erosion that you could have seen till now is already done. Okay, and equity fund does not suffer from this kind of illiquidity and lack of valuation. So we are doing another webinar on equity funds, where our message is basically to continue with your investment as is. Okay, because going forward, when the market improves, the equity prices are going to improve. So if you can afford it, you
Okay.
can just retain. Whereas I'll be happy to receive these three names on WhatsApp and email, and I'll do a detailed analysis through FinBingo, and I will get back to you. Okay, on a more
Sure. And
scientific.
what about the ultra short? What about the ultra short fund?
Is it through Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin.
I think they have closed that ultra short fund as well, which means as an
And
investor,
if they have closed it, yeah.
yeah, you will have to wait till all the companies that they have lent to return back the principal and interest, and whenever they receive money, they are going to pay you back. So the wait may
Okay.
be a bit long.
By that time, we have to wait for that.
Yes, there is no other option but to wait.
Okay. Thank you very much, Samir.
Okay, thank you, Shashi. I'm putting you on mute.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I don't see any other hands up. So thank you guys for participating. It's 45 minutes now. We'll close the webinar. Thank you very much. Have a good day.